Awesome. Thank you, everybody here in person who was able to make it today, as well as all of you joining our live stream virtually on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're joining us from. We are live here from the Alex at the Echelon in the Seaport District of Boston. Most of us here in this room fresh off 20 plus miles, not myself included, thankfully. But we're so excited to have you here. My name's Ethan Michaud. I'm the Senior Development Manager here at the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism, and we're so excited to be presenting this first ever athlete brunch in association with the Boston Athletic Association, who you'll hear from later on this afternoon. But we are, as you may know, the presenting sponsors of the adaptive program for runners at the Boston Marathon. And for that reason, we look for every opportunity we can to advance the careers of these runners who we work with, who are part of the adaptive program, and also to celebrate them. So we crammed both into one day today, a 20-mile run in preparation for next month's Boston Marathon, which is under a month away now officially. And yeah. And also celebrate afterwards with a brunch here at the Alex and a live streamed panel for all of you at home. So we're very excited to have you tuning in. Just to give you a little overview of the afternoon, I won't be speaking too long because I want to get into the meat of this and let those who have more to say jump on, and you'll get to hear from some great voices, including the Executive Director of the Flutie Foundation, Nick Savarese, Jack Fleming from the B.A.A., as well as other representatives from the B.A.A. and a panel of adaptive program runners who we're so excited to have here today. So we'll get right into it. Those of you at home, it is an interactive experience, so please put your questions in the chat. We'll try to get to them as we go through the panel or throughout the afternoon. And if we don't get to any questions, we'll be sure to get you the right answers, either from the Flutie Foundation, the B.A.A., or whoever you have questions for. And just to kick things off, like I said, we are the presenting sponsor of the adaptive program for runners for the Boston Marathon. We have been for 3 years, and we will continue to be into the near future. It's a position that we find ourselves very lucky to be in, to work with an organization like the Boston Athletic Association to advance adaptive running at one of the premier running events in the world. So to tell you more about that and much more, we'll kick things off, and I'd like to invite up Nick Savarese, the Executive Director of the Flutie Foundation.
Thank you, Ethan. I think Ethan articulated everything quite well, so I don't think I have to go into too much more detail, but you know, we're just honored to be here in the presence of all of these incredible runners. I see Hannah Adams right there. Hannah just motivates and inspires me each and every day. I see Enchi, Greg, Mike, Justin. I just met you today. I mean, I saw you out there on the course. Just incredible. Eric Fishman up from Florida. You know, at its core, running really is the most accessible, inclusive sport there is, right? All it takes is, you know, you're born, you learn to crawl, you learn to walk, you learn to run. Now, we know not everybody has that chance, but really there's no barriers beyond that, right? It's not like hockey where you need a rink, you need ice skates, you have financial barriers to participation. It's really something that by its very nature is the most accessible sport there is, but we know it's still not accessible to everybody, right? We know that you might have a physical limitation, a physical disability, and luckily the B.A.A. has been around a long time helping make these accommodations and being a leader in this space. You might have a visual impairment where you can't go out and navigate the roads safely. You might have a cognitive impairment that also prevents you from, you know, navigating and joining the greatest race in the world, the Boston Marathon. And that's why we're here to work with the B.A.A., who have long been leaders of this space, to provide for that accessibility, to provide for that inclusivity, so that all these great people who you will meet momentarily and many of their peers will have a chance to go out there and share the course with some of these other elite athletes. That's another thing that's great about the Boston Marathon is what other, you know, if I wanted to go out and play football, I don't get to share the field with Tom Brady, but every athlete in here who's running gets to share the same course with the elite athletes who are out there. So we're just honored to be a part of it all. So, you know, it's the 25th anniversary at the Flutie Foundation this year. We're really excited about that. thanks to each and every one of you who are part of this. We just keep growing. We keep moving forward together as family. We love our partnership with the B.A.A. We hope you join us at Fenway Park later this summer on August 24th for our 25th anniversary celebration. And, without further ado, we're going to show a little video here for those of you out there on the live stream. So please comment, throw in questions, hit like, hit love, share, all that good stuff. Essentially, once you're a part of the Flutie Foundation Adaptive Program, you're also a part of the Dougie's team. And you're also a part of the greater Run Flutie brand and the Flutie Foundation family as a whole. And it all comes together on Marathon Monday. And as you'll see in this short video, whether you're Dougie's team, adaptive runner, Flutie 5K runner, or a fan, we're all one family, we're all one team. So let's just check out this short video.
This is what running dreams are made of.
The Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism, honored to be the presenting sponsor of the Boston Marathon's adaptive program for runners.
We just got notified that our Dougie's team runners just started. 2 of them on the course now. Can't wait to cheer them on. We're ready to track them until they get all the way here to Boylston.
The sun is high in the sky and these runners are shuffling their way home.
Your own race, and everybody wins.
A great race.
Yeah.
I mean, the crowd cheering all the way. Unbelievable.
Amazing! Awesome!
I was very steady and I had energy towards them.
Congrats! Woo! Yeah, you did!
When I see your face, it takes me higher. Hands around your waist and I can get enough. 'Cause you and I are born to run.
Can't wait until the ball. Yeah, give yourselves a big round of applause. Many of you have run it before, but many of you have not. And those moments, I've had the great fortune of running it once, and it was one of the great joys of my adult life. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce 2 great people from the Boston Athletic Association. I'd like to introduce Andrea Chase and Jack Fleming. So Andrea Chase is the adaptive volunteer coach coordinator. Not sure if I got your title right, but grateful for all of the incredible work you do for the athletes of the adaptive program and the B.A.A. community as a whole, and the executive director of the Boston Athletic Association, Jack Fleming.
Thank you, Nick. Thanks everyone for having me, and for those of you who are out there. I happen to live in Natick, and so who knows a famous person who's vital to this group, who is a resident of Natick? Doug Flutie, right? So long time ago, when I was originally from New Orleans, planning to go to Boston College, felt the motivation provided by all that Doug did, right? And I was planning to come here today, and I was thinking about you, this group, the adaptive program specifically, and all of the folks training on the course, people giving out water, the cars, that were on the side, making sure that everybody was going to be safe. And I realized that this is really, it really feeds on itself. On behalf of the Boston Athletic Association, we're really the stewards of this iconic signature event that lots of folks point towards as being just an important moment, an important time of their lives. On the one hand, it's just a road race. On the other hand, it's not only a road race. My colleague, Parker West here, thank you, Parker, for being here and for representing everyone on our staff team. I mean that. And our staff team, I know, is watching today as well. Parker heard me say this the other day. I was running around. I'm a runner too. So I was running around past the Museum of Science, and there's a sign right out front. If you, those of you have seen it, maybe you've seen it. It says "Science for All." And yeah, it's true, but running is for all too. And that's particularly true when I look out at you and think of those who may be watching about our sport of running. But really, the Flutie Foundation has encouraged us further and has made running a sport for all. For all. How? By providing that kind of access into the team, your program, welcoming, teaching, instructing, supporting, volunteering, having a long view, sponsoring, partnering. You know, even just thinking about it, and Parker knows, and what I have to work on being a little bit more succinct, I know. But it truly is, running is one of these unifiers. You know, you feel this freedom when you run, right? And with 30 days to go, right? This is St. Patrick's Day weekend. Thank you for having the Boston Athletic Association part of your group. I like to drive up and down the course to see how it's going with everyone. There's a lot of planning that takes place 365 days a year. We not only work on this next year's race, we work on the following year, and the following year we overlap that. But, you know, in the end, it is all about the people. And we, from the Boston Athletic Association, want you to have a fantastic experience. Ask us questions. We want to welcome you into our family as well, just as Flutie Foundation has welcomed us and others from the adaptive program into theirs. So thank you very much. Nick, did you want to facilitate?
Oh, but no, you get
Andrea, come on up. And for some specifics about the program, wanted to turn the mic over to Andrea, who will explain some of the program details.
Excellent. Thanks, Jack. So my name's Andrea Chase, and I am the captain of the volunteers for the para division and the adaptive program. And I work directly with Taylor Barrett, who is head of that division and program. And she's amazing. So here's, at the B.A.A, we are thrilled to be partnering with the Flutie Foundation, whose support helps us to make the adaptive program as dynamic as possible. And at the B.A.A, we want to include athletes of a variety of abilities to give them the opportunity to participate in this amazing race. So what does that really mean? That means if you put in the work to run, we want to meet your needs so that you can have an optimum race experience. That's exactly what it means. So we are here for you all Expo weekend. We have a reserved room for you to pick up your bibs and your t-shirts and to answer any questions that you might have. We have reserved buses for you that leave from the Sheridan on race day morning and take you out to the start. We have a reserved place for you at the start where you can wait before your race begins. And then at the end of the race, we also have a reserved place for you where you can come back in after having had this incredible experience, meet with your teammates, have some food and drink, and collect your gear. So I would be happy to answer any more detailed questions as part of the panel later, or if you want to put them on chat in terms of timing or things that you need to collect your bib. But as of now, I just want to thank you for including me in today's event. And thank you for running. I mean, this is hard work. And also thank you for the volunteers that the Flutie Foundation sends to my team. Quick shout out to Carrie Tubbs, who has been amazing with me on race day for a couple of years now, getting up at, I don't know when he gets up, but he gets there at 4 in the morning and he's there until like 2 in the afternoon. So, so we have a great group of volunteers and you are our priority that whole weekend. So it's going to be a good one. And thank you again for running.
Thank you so much. We're just going to keep, great to hear. I haven't seen Carrie in a while. I didn't even realize he was doing that volunteer work. We always want him to come back and run the marathon for Dougie's team because he's been such a great Dougie's team guy. No, I know, but he raises a lot of money for the Flutie Foundation, but it's cool. I'm glad that he's sorry, I've got a little tech difficulty. No worries. I'll maybe step to the side a little bit. So without further ado, you all know Amy Pepe. She is a wonderful ambassador for the overall running community, the Boston Athletic Association, as well as the Flutie Foundation. And Amy is going to facilitate our panel of some of the great adaptive runners who you'll love hearing their story. So give a big round of applause for Amy.
Thank you, Nick, for that intro. So we're going to have an interactive panel, and I'm going to introduce our runners who, as Ethan had said, fresh off of 20 plus miles. So hopefully they've had some food and drink. But please help me welcome our Dougie's team adaptive runners here: Michael Palmer, Hannah Adams, and Chizu, and Eric Fishman. All right, guys, sit down. So everybody just fit. How you feeling? Great. Good. Okay. There's a mic here. You guys can pass it if you. Okay. Thanks, Nick. All right. So we'll start with Mike and we go down the line. Just introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from, how old you are, how much you love being on Dougie's team. Here.
Mike Palmer from Hopkinton, Massachusetts. What was that other question?
How old are you, Mike?
I'm 29, turning 30 in 2 weeks. So
Hi, everyone. My name's Hannah Adams. I was born with the right-sided hemiplegia, and running is a sport that keeps me moving. And I'm from Somerville, Massachusetts, and I'm 30 years old, running for the 5th time for Boston Marathon for the Doug Flutie Foundation team.
My advice is slow is okay as long as you are in the right direction. My name is Angie Shu, and I'm from Northfield, Massachusetts. I'm currently a freshman, 2nd semester at UMass Amherst.
Hi, my name is Eric Fishman. I'm from Coral Springs, Florida, and I'm 41 years old.
So, Mike, why don't you tell us what does running the Boston Marathon mean to you?
means the world to me. Growing up in Hopkinton, it's around you pretty much every day. I used to live about 1.5 miles from the start, so the start has a huge impact on my life. My parents got married right on the common, overlooking the start. It just means a lot. I'll always remember like telling these two stories. The Kenyan used to, I don't know if they're still coming, but they used to come to our schools, second, third grade at Elmwood School. And it was always a big deal. We would get to meet the Kenyans, we get to interact with them. So every day from an early age, I knew I wanted to run this race. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. I wanted to run. And I remember one other story. We used to go pretty much every year, and we used to after the race started, we used to walk back. I remember one year I ran back to my house about a mile and a half, and I was told I was going in the wrong direction. Boston was the other way. So I think from an early age, I knew I wanted to run this race, and I've run it a couple times. It's a privilege and an honor each year, and I'm so excited to run again.
Stepping out onto the course of the Boston Marathon allows me to get stronger. Seeing our community will always impact on one city and the ability to reach 26.2 miles.
What's one thing you want to share with other adaptive runners? What's a piece of advice you have?
My advice is slow is okay as long as you are in the right direction. It is fine to take a break, but don't give up. You will get there. I will see you all at the finish line.
It's always been like a lifelong dream of mine. It's always a huge honor to run with the most prestigious, the best of the best, like Elliot Kipchoge. Like I'm literally running in like their footsteps on the same course and crossing the same finish line. I'm so honored to be able to be a part of this adaptive program and this opportunity.
So you guys have talked about sort of some very inspiring people that have run before. Mike, tell us what inspires you to run?
I feel like I still have a lot to show, and I think I'm still learning about myself. So why I want to run or inspires to run is to learn more about myself. I feel like in life you have to be put in uncomfortable situations, and throughout training we run at different paces, and some days are tougher than others, some days are faster than others, some days I'm in pain, some days feel great. So it's just to learn more about yourself, and on race day you might not have the best day, or you might not feeling great as the day goes on, but you just have to learn about yourself. Some moments are not going to be great, and then things might turn around. So it's just to learn more about yourself, and I use my things I learn about running into my everyday life, and it helps me make me a stronger, better person.
So personal growth. That's great. That's great. Hannah, what about you? What inspires you to run?
What inspires me to run is stepping onto the world makes me feel alive, where I can reach my goal and inspire to everyone. Seeing anyone with learning disabilities has the ability to chase their dreams, and including myself as a adaptive runner too.
Great. Enchi, what inspires you to run?
The three things inspire me to run are: first, I believe running is a healthy lifestyle. Second, I want to be a fast runner to qualify for the Boston Marathon. Third, I want to be a part of a running club and make friends.
Those are great. I want to qualify one day too. All right, Eric, what inspires you to run?
Thank you for asking. having autism that doesn't matter, that make, sorry, let me start it. Having autism that doesn't make sense when I say that as an answer, but let me explain to you. My autism shows me like anything is possible. Like I can do anything if I put my mind to it, and I love to run.
You're right, you can. So we talked a lot about today about we're only a few weeks out, and excitement is starting to build. It's a beautiful spring day. Mike, why don't you start by telling us what are you most excited for a race weekend?
The crowds.
Yeah, the crowds are great.
The crowds in Boston are outstanding. I've run different races in all over the parts of the country, and Boston's crowds just stand out. The support from Hopkinton all through the different towns is outstanding. Just running with the people, like Jack said earlier, get to run on this, and other people have said, getting to run on the same course that the elite runners, the people that you get to look up to, they're running the same course. Nick said it too, like football players, you don't get to play unless you like go to state championships. You don't get to run on the same play in the same field as Tom Brady. Like it's just awesome, like minutes beforehand, like your idols are right there. It's just so cool. It's so special.
Hannah, what about you?
I'm excited to share the weekend with friends and family where everyone has been supporting in my running journey. Proud that I will be part of the Doug Flutie team, and amazed at how many miles I put myself in each and every Saturday morning runs with my team. And just seeing how the crowds and the community that we created that will make us finish strong and make us reach that you can do 26.2 miles.
Absolutely. Enchi, what are you excited about for race weekend? It's coming up. What are you excited about?
My three most exciting things about this race weekend are: first, finish my third Boston Marathon within 4 hours again this time. I enjoy people cheering for me on the course. Second, look forward to seeing the fastest marathon runner Kipchoge in Copley Square on Saturday if possible. Third, volunteering with my mother together to deliver shirts Saturday afternoon.
That's great. Volunteering. I love it. All right, Eric, what are you most excited for?
I'm excited about the expo. I mean, the expo is always one of those things that's like epic. It's like seeing the vendors from all over the world. And again, you've seen runners that are like the best of the best and exchanging stories. Like people are getting ready to join their 6-star, the major. It's just incredible. And then also experiencing this with like my girlfriend who's never been to Boston. So it's just going to be extra special with me to be with her. Plus my mama who used to live in Boston. So will be her second time to see me race in the Boston Marathon. So it's just all the support with all of them, having my family from the Doug Flutie and being here, support yelling and screaming for me. It's gonna be like so great.
It is going to be great. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see you guys. What I really can't wait to see is you guys all dressed up in your Dougie singlets. And this year we have a new design Dougie singlet that we are unveiling here for you all. So if each of you would reach under your seats, and you'll find your 2023 Dougie's Team singlet for the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism. Yes, Greg, come on up here. Come here. Do you want to stand? Go stand. Here, right here. Yeah, I don't want anybody to trip. All right, folks, this is our team. This is our adaptive runners. This is great. I will. So, Greg, you weren't up here with us, but I'm going to ask you, what are you most excited for? I know you've run the marathon before, but what are you most excited for?
Fans, just sport, people.
Yeah. Your parents waiting for you?
Yes.
And all the people cheering for you?
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Greg. Thank you, team. Congrats on your long run today. All right. Back to Nick to close it up.
Sure. All right, well, we want to thank everybody who joined us on the live stream. It's great to see you all out there, and we can't wait to see you in a few weeks in Boston. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here today. A special shout out to Jen Fay and your husband, Pat, for hosting us today. And enjoy the food and the camaraderie and the friendships with everybody. Thank you all very much. And one more thing.
Yeah, just one more thing. I because this is Dougie's team, I did want to recognize that we have Dougie here.
Yes, Dougie
We
in the
have
house,
Dougie
as
here,
always.
And I wanted to make sure we recognize because it's his team.
Yes,
so thanks,
Dougie.
thanks, Nick.